with Jason immediately.
Well, he's not here. What's going on?
It's Spinelli. He's
What?
not himself.
Okay, that's fine. It's to be expected. He was shot. He's probably just going through some sort of...
That's not what I mean. Spinelli woke up from surgery fine. I mean, he looks like himself. He's just not himself.
Maxie, you're not making any sense right now.
Neither is Spinelli. He has morphed into Jackal P.I.
Ah, Spinelli, I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah. Holla, Morgan.
What?
You're supposed to holler back. I don't sweat it. It's good to see you. Not that I'm complaining about the cute little chickadees rolling in and out of here, but a guy needs a little mono for balance.
Oh, okay.
Hey, listen. I'm dusting this joint soon. You know, going back to packing lead and taking out the flotsam, so bring me up to speed. What kind of missions you got on tap for Jackal P.I. once I blow this pop stand?
You know, Spinelli was still out of it from the amnesia, or just having a little fun at your expense.
I wish. Spinelli is different. It's like I said, he's become that character from his book.
I don't even know what that means.
He's calling me things like dollface and sugar lips.
Okay.
The nurses are dames. He even called Diane Cookie.
Did she threaten to sue him?
No, the woman is perverse. She liked it. I did not.
Well, have you talked to his doctor?
All the time. It's Matt.
Oh, okay. Well, what does he say?
That Spinelli didn't have a stroke, which was my first thought.
Well, that's why he's a doctor and you're not.
Yeah, he said there's no cranial damage and that Spinelli's brain is completely healthy.
Does he seem worried?
No, but Matt does not know Spinelli like I do.
All right. Well, what's your take on it?
Something deeply psychological. Wish fulfillment. I mean, that's why Spinelli wrote that book, so he could pretend he was just like that character, efficient, confident, heroic.
Well, he's certainly lived up to the heroic part.
I know. Spinelli literally took a bullet for me. I feel like I need to help him return to the terrific guy that I know he is. And if I can't get through to him, I think there's only one person that can.
What are you doing? Spinelli, you practicing a new character for your next book or something?
Life ain't practice, Morgan. It's the real deal. One time around the block and you're maggot food.
Okay, whatever this is, it's got to stop right now because we have a problem and I need you to focus.
Ah, yes. Problems. Breakfast of champions. Lay it on me.
Well, I got a call from Bernie. You know who Bernie is, right?
Yeah, sure. The bean counter.
Close to 20 million's missing from the offshore accounts.
Inside job?
That's what you're supposed to tell me. Tracking money, handling transfers, that's what you do.
Doesn't sound like my cup of tea.
But Bernie said that you told him that the money's gonna move automatically so we don't attract attention from the feds.
Well, how would I know that?
Spinelli, Bernie needs the account numbers. I need to find this money.
You must be pulling my leg. I'm no keyboard jockey.
Are you saying that you don't know how?
No clue.
Open this. Maybe you'll remember something.
Where's the handle on this thing?
Are you serious? Here.
Oh. It's mildly interesting.
Spinelli, a lot of money is missing. You need to find it for me.
Yeah, how many smackers did you say?
Smackers?
You know, mean green, cashola. How many dollars?
20 million. And if you don't find it, my organization will be compromised.
Well, tough break, Morgan. I feel for you. I really do, but I can't help you. Sounds like you need one of those tech guys or number crunchers. Dollface, you came back!
Stop calling me that.
Oh, McCall, what you doing at the office? Any, dangerous cases that require Jackal P.I.'s special kind of finesse?
How come you haven't fixed him yet?
You need to help me right now. What can you do to make Spinelli normal again?
I'm not sure I want to.
What do you mean?
I just kind of like the whole Jackal P.I. thing. I think it's fun.
This guy can't work on a computer. Spinelli can. I need Spinelli back now.
Dr. Nicholson, Dr. Sam Nicholson, please call the pharmacy.
Okay, look at this. It's a GPS program that you created to help us track cheaters. Does this look familiar to you? Spinelli, look at this.
Looks like another language. You were sporting some set of gam, sugar lips.
Do not call me that. And stop staring at my legs with Spinelli's eyes because it's creeping me out.
Okay. Look, what about this? Hey.
Oh, hey, it's Morgan in miniature. That's clever.
It's a video game, Spinelli. You invented it.
That does not seem possible.
The Saga of Stone Cold, you made a lot of money.
Oh, I got a stash? What are you doing Friday?
Do you see what I mean?
Okay, so none of this means anything
But
to
I
you.
hate to say it, but you're snoozeville with this computer talk. It's not for me. Jacobi does not sit hunched over a machine. He works in the danger zone. He's a man of action. He looks death in the eye and sneers.
And it's not.
Just find somebody else to track the money. Okay, let me know.
May I come in?
Sure.
Jason, I know you aren't much on small talk, so I'll get right to the point. Monica and I were deeply hurt that we weren't invited to Michael's graduation.
I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. Our disappointment was mitigated by the relief that Michael actually lived to experience this rite of passage. And I want to capitalize on that momentum, get him on a fast track.
To what exactly?
I want to offer Michael a summer internship at ELQ. It's time he got back to his real family.
Michael already has a job. He's working the coffee warehouse this summer.
That's a mob front. That's no place for Michael.
The coffee business is actually legitimate, grandfather.
I don't expect you to say anything different. So, does Michael plan to go to college?
He got accepted to PCU.
Excellent. All the more imperative that he learns how a real corporation is run. So, are his grades good?
Yeah, they're very, very good.
You know, I shouldn't even have to be asking you these questions. You know that.
I don't want to fight. I mean, you want Michael to work for ELQ? You should talk to him. It's up to him to decide that.
He'll do what you say.
Michael does what he wants.
Maybe. But you exert a great deal of influence. If you support his going to ELQ, he's much more likely to agree.
I think you're giving me too much credit.
So that's your answer, huh? Michael is 19, and you wash your hands of any responsibility in his future, huh? I don't want to fight with you either, Jason. You had the very best of intentions. But when Michael was a baby, you handed him over to Sonny. And Michael has been paying the price for it ever since. Now, this is your chance to make things right.
Maybe it'll help if we go over some of the cases we've been working on.
This is all small potatoes. We gotta branch out, do something a little edgier than cheating spouses. My talent's being wasted.
Well, what do you suggest?
Industrial espionage, kidnappings, murders, something juicy to get the blood boiling.
Wow, that surprises me.
Why's that, McCall?
Well, you've just been really concerned about me taking chances. I mean, aren't you worried about me getting pregnant anymore?
Well, look, you want to pack a diaper bag instead of a piece, that's your prerogative. Waste of a good partner, but a dame's gotta do what a dame's gotta do.
Really? Well, what about the business?
Now, don't get hysterical on me, McCall. Jacobi will take on the Main Street solo.
Hey.
Any news on the missing money?
No, we're still working on that, but we need to discuss Michael.
Michael is going to be loading trucks at the warehouse. I told him he's too smart. He should get into sales, merchandising. But you can't change the little boy's mind, you know what I mean? It's like the
Michael
way-
hasn't been approached yet,
Yeah.
but he has another job offer on the table.
Well,
Edward wants to give Michael an internship at ELQ.
really? What do you think of that?
I don't know. I think it might be a good opportunity. Michael might realize that he likes business and ELQ is big and it's legitimate.
Yeah, but what about, how Edward plays head games and he's
I
controlling...
know, but at least
manipulating?
Michael would be safe.
Yeah, but you left Quartermains because you felt like they were swallowing you whole. AJ stayed, got destroyed. I just don't want that happening to Michael. Manipulator. He had, AJ jumped through hoops for years. No intention of putting him in charge of ELQ.
Yeah, Michael's nothing like AJ.
I understand, but you know how Edward works. It's gonna be a matter of time before he breaks Michael down.
But Michael's a lot stronger than you think.
Look, don't get me wrong. I'm very proud of my son and what he's been able to overcome. But you know what Edward's gonna do. He's gonna turn Michael against me.
Okay, so would Johnny.
That's why I want Michael working at the warehouse, where we could keep an eye on him. He can be close to us, but he doesn't have to be near the ugly side of the business.
Right, but the farther away he gets from this business, the better off Michael's gonna be. been hearing for months is how we want to give him a better life.
Yeah.
As long as we're running this organization, we're not in a position to give him that.
But Edward is?
ELQ, it's a good company. It's worldwide. He could learn a lot.
Well, I'm more worried about what Edward's gonna teach him.
Sonny, Michael knows that you love him, okay? He's never questioned that. And that's the difference. AJ always felt like he was a disappointment. He wasn't even worth Alan's love or Edward's respect.
You know what? I know everybody, there's a lot of people that had a hand in AJ's downfall, and I'm at the top of that list. I took Michael from the Quartermains, and I don't regret that. I'll tell you why. Because I have my own issues, but Edward, he's always angry, controlling. I didn't want that for Michael then. I don't want that for Michael now.
But Edward's not gonna have the same power over Michael that he did with AJ because Michael doesn't care what the Quartermains think. Really, what he wants is our respect. That's what Michael wants.
Well, he doesn't have to prove anything
Well,
to
he
me.
feels like he does.
Well, he can do that by loading trucks at the warehouse.
And what happens when he hears some guys talking about offloading a different kind of shipment? You think Michael's gonna pass up that chance? At least with Edward, he'll be busy.
You want to know the truth? I don't want to risk Michael getting too close to Edward.
Michael has such potential.
Take care of his family, give him a good life. He just goes about it the wrong way.
You know what? Here's the thing. If I put myself in Edward's shoes and somebody took Michael from me and I couldn't have a relationship with my son for years, it would be terrible. But he still blames me that I turned you against the family.
But I wasn't the person the Quartermains needed me to be anymore. And neither is Michael.
It's not going to stop Edward from turning my son against me.
Yeah, but Sonny, Michael's old enough to know that there are two sides to every story.
Yes, yes. Okay, you know what? I did risk bringing Michael into this life because I made him a target for
Right,
my
and that
enemies.
hasn't changed how he feels about you. It hasn't even stopped him from wanting to be in this business.
That's not happening.
All we
You
have
know
to
that.
do is give him some options and trust that he's going to make the right choice.
But I don't think that Edward is the best option.
Okay, it's just for a summer.
Okay, all right.
For a couple months.
Right.
I mean, maybe he might like it and decide he wants to go to college. That would be the best thing.
Well, I guess it would be better, to risk losing Michael to Edward than having him pulled into this crazy life.
Threatening my dad.
Take it the brothers No Neck haven't reported back to you yet, huh?
About what?
Paid Michael a little visit at his warehouse. He'd be proud. He's fully indoctrinated. Spattered off all the reasons as to why I couldn't be trusted. Thinks I'm trying to use him to get to Sonny.
Are you?
Look, Jason, maybe I know Michael a little better than you do, huh? I've been where he is. Faced with the choice of staying in the only life you've ever known or carving out a new one as a stock boy.
Sounds like he made his choice then.
His choice may end up causing a lot more damage than he thinks. You and I were reasonable guys. Sonny, my father, they're volatile. I tried explaining this to Michael, but he wouldn't listen.
It's good he's learning.
You're not gonna think it's so good when things start to escalate. Michael had a chance to keep the peace. Passed.
Oh, Jason. Well, this is an unexpected surprise. Say, I hope you've given my plans for Michael some thought.
That's not up for me to decide.
But everybody knows he looks up to you, respects your opinion. Would a nudge in my direction be too far out of line?
Grandfather Michael's old enough to make his own decisions, and I have to respect that.
Jason, we're not talking about who Michael wants to date. This is about his future. And I can open more doors than that reprobate Corinthus, and Michael won't have to be dodging bullets.
That's up to him.
Hey. Is Monica all right?
Oh, yeah, she went away to a spa for a few days. She'll be home soon. Why?
Oh, Jason only comes here for Monica's benefit. I came in, things seemed a little intense. Thought something must have happened.
Oh, no, Jason and I were just discussing your future.
Well, it's funny how you discussed your plans with everyone else but me.
Well, I just thought that if we could meet together and...
Abby tells me that you want me to work at ELQ.
Well, I won't be running things forever. And I would like to keep the company in the family. This is an ideal way for you to learn the business and see if it's something you might be interested in one day.
I'll take the job. Okay, as long as Abby gets to work there, too. As As long as you keep your word and Abby gets a job with a good salary and health benefits, I'll work at ELQ this summer.
Oh, you have no idea how happy this makes me. You know, ELQ is your birthright. So it's time you two get better acquainted. When can you start?
Well, as soon as Jason says he's okay with this.
You said you wouldn't interfere.
He did, and I asked.
Well, Jason, you know deep in your heart, after all the time and tragedy, that ELQ is the ideal situation for Michael. And it'll give him a better than a fighting chance. And it'll be helpful for Abby, too.
Oh, don't make me a factor.
Oh, but you are, dear.
I'm serious. Don't make this decision because of me. You going to work for the ELQ has to be completely your decision and made for reasons that are about you.
Jason, I'd really like to hear what you have to think.
Well, I agree with Abby. It's got to be your call. But whatever you decide, I'm with you 100%.
That's a cop-out. Give me the pros and the cons.
The pros and the cons. Okay, Edward is your family. His love for you is genuine and it's never wavered. Edward wants to see you succeed in life as much as the rest of us do, and he'll do everything in his power to make that happen.
Oh, Jason, I'm touched.
The cons. Edward is crafty. He loves to be in control. He's going to pull strings. He's going to maneuver you into whatever he thinks is for your own good. So whatever you decide, you got to keep your guard up.
Seems to me that you know a little bit about manipulation also. You know, smoothly assuring Michael that it's his choice while you're trying to scare him off.
He asked. I gave him an answer. Let me know what you do.
I just dropped Jocelyn and Mercedes off at home. I was so looking forward to spending time with her. I miss her like crazy when she's with Jax, but I couldn't even stay and enjoy it because I'm so angry. So I came here so I could calm down before I said or did something that would come back and bite me in court.
Because you're too smart for that. What happened?
I showed up to Jax's suite to pick up Jocelyn, and what do I see? That ridiculous woman standing there holding my daughter.
You must be talking about Brenda.
Yeah, I'm talking about Brenda. My God, I wanted to leap across the room, rip Jocelyn out of her arms, and wipe up the floor with her.
But instead you kept your cool, right, Carly? Because you know Jax would have used it against you.
See, that's why I love you. You have so much faith in me. And look, I'm feeling calmer already. Do you have any junk food?
Well, don't get too calm. I have some news about Michael you're probably not gonna like.
Oh no, did he get in trouble again?
No. This is good.
What happened?
Michael's gonna work for ELQ this summer.
Like hell.
You go off?
I'm not gonna go off because it's not gonna happen.
But Michael wants to do this.
Michael doesn't know what he's getting himself into.
Do I get a chance to talk?
Yes, talk, but you're not gonna change my mind.
Okay, if Michael works for ELQ, it totally removes him from anything that has to do with this business and this organization.
Firmly under the influence of Edward Quartermain. Finally, justice will be served, right?
What the hell does that mean?
You know what they say? What goes around comes around. I treated the Quartermains horribly when it came to Michael. I refused to acknowledge them as Michael's family. I refused to acknowledge that AJ was Michael's biological father. Some would argue that AJ would still be alive if he could have been a part of Michael's life, that he would have tried to be a better person, he would have done the right thing.
That was a long time ago. More recently, when Michael woke up from the coma, you were willing to let him live with the Quartermains.
Only for a short period of time, and it didn't last, okay? You know that Edward is gonna get in Michael's ear and he's gonna tell him that I'm a horrible person. That I willfully deprived Michael from his birthright, and that I let him grow up in the care of big bad mobsters. You know what's gonna happen.
This is a way to keep Michael safe. I mean, isn't that what's most important?
You know, that's really easy for you to say, Jason. Edward would never try and turn Michael against you. Me? That's a different story.
I left the Quartermains feeling like I made a really huge mistake.
Did Edward do something already?
No, he couldn't have been more delightful and charming. But all of a sudden, I could just really see so clearly where all this is heading. I mean, Edward wants Michael not just for a summer. He wants Michael to be his heir.
Yeah, that's really not going to come as a shock to Michael if that's what you're worried about.
But that's huge, Jason. I mean, it changes everything.
How?
I never realized until I was in that house today the kind of family that Michael really comes from. I mean, the Quartermains, that's old money. I mean, power that's been in place for generations. I mean, they're conglomerates and empires and acquisitions. And Edward wants to give all of it to Michael.
That doesn't mean Michael's gonna take it. He's never really expressed any interest in that at all.
He's never really spent any concentrated time with Edward. I mean, what if Michael decides that that is what he wants?
What if it does?
I know this is gonna sound totally selfish, but where does that leave me?
With Michael only richer?
I'm gonna be the first casualty. I mean, Edward found me as useful. You know, as soon as Michael's hooked, I mean, I'm unsuitable and expendable.
Michael's not gonna think that.
I don't really want to take that chance. I mean, maybe I can still persuade Michael, you know, to not work for ELQ. The question is, do I have that right?
Jocelyn.
I think you should be honest. I mean, if there's something really bugging you about the whole EOQ thing, you should tell him.
But Edward can offer Michael an incredible future. Shouldn't that be what's most important?
You know, when Michael was a baby, I pretty much stole him from the Quartermains. And now this is Edward's chance to steal him back. And I could stop him.
Have you thought about it?
Yeah, I've thought about it. But Michael could end up wanting to live his life as a Quartermain. And that would make him safe. But then again, I try to use that logic with Jake, and truth is, I don't really know. Is it worth losing Michael to keep him safe?
Yo, Mom.